Hello, I'm Anna Valise, founder of Advice for Her, dedicated to the busy women of today. It is my pleasure to have here in our studio Rex Russo, attorney at law. Welcome, Rex.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Rex, tell us a little bit about the services that you provide for your clients.
Well, basically, I'm a real estate litigation attorney, but because of that particular area of practice, I found myself helping people do bankruptcies as well, because oftentimes, especially when we got into the problem situation with the downturn in the market, there was an opportunity there to even increase my bankruptcy practice. Although I've been doing bankruptcies and real estate litigation, as well as commercial litigation, pretty much since the beginning of my career.
Wow. And so when you say real estate litigation, it's conflicts that occur because of contracts, or what other circumstances would real estate litigation involve?
Actually, I consider myself a real estate litigation attorney from A to Z.
Okay.
And let me start backwards. Sometimes people find that they have a zoning violation and they're being cited, say, by their city or county. And now they have to respond in an administrative, that means to the city or county department, with regards to their defense so they don't get fined. I have handled everything from those type of matters to the more complex. Let's jump up to county court matters, which oftentimes would be a landlord-tenant dispute.
Okay.
And I've represented both landlords and tenants, and I'm very well versed there as well. Or it could be a very complex matter, which would take somebody into what we call our circuit court or a higher level trial court. And those disputes may involve a contract for the sale of a property.
Correct.
It may involve a boundary line dispute between neighbors or some other dispute with neighbors. And when any of those problems have evolved even further, then I've also handled them on appeals. And I've handled appeals at every level, from the administrative setting that I talked about, city and county, to the circuit court, because that's where those are appealed, or from the county court, which is appealed to the circuit court as well, or from the circuit court, which is appealed to our district court of appeal. And from there, I've filed petitions and requests to the Florida Supreme Court.
Wow, very impressive.
As well as handled federal appeals from bankruptcy court and handled appeals to the circuit court, federal, all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. Filed petitions.
That's very, very interesting, Rex. How did you get started in this area of the law?
Well, originally, I'm from Connecticut, and when I came down here for law school some time ago,
I'm not going to ask about age or years.
Okay, good. Some time ago, I came because of the department here at the law school. They had a special program, and I came here for that. But the good thing about it was that I had an uncle that was an attorney, and he was sort of highly looked upon by obviously my parents and others in our family who were mostly children of immigrants because of his success. And he was here in Coral Gables. So I got to work for him coming right out of law school, which was, as you can imagine, something of a dream, almost like working for your idol who you grew up admiring.
Sure. And I'm sure a world of experience that you were able to learn from him.
Him especially, because he was a real estate attorney, mostly transactional. And the good part about that was that when disputes evolved, I was the one in the office, even at a very young age, who was handed that matter and asked to resolve it for the clients.
Quick way to get your feet in the fire.
Oh, I had my feet in the fire early, yes.
Lucky, because a lot of attorneys graduate and they don't get a lot of hands-on experience. So great addition to your experience. Rex, tell us a little bit about your ideal client.
Well, my ideal client is someone who comes to see me already well prepared. And mostly what I mean by well prepared is they're able to define what their problem is, and they're able to explain it in a way where I could also quickly grasp it, and we utilize our time then in the best manner. And that same type of client tends to also be the type who then works with me throughout the process. That is, if I ask for something, they respond, and they respond correctly with the information I need. That makes it easier for me and obviously saves them expense, because the less time I'm spending, the more help I'm able to put into the law part and assist the client.
And usually that, I would imagine, is the type of client who would also tend to follow your advice without feeling too much of a struggle. And so that type of client, I think, would tend to, again, just take your recommendations because you're the person that focuses on these areas of practice.
Well, absolutely true, but I also understand that putting your trust really in anybody, especially in something as complicated as some of the cases I handle, isn't a thing that we do naturally. So I do understand that I also need to earn the client's trust.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely. Rex, what do you think is something that makes you the exceptional advisor that I know that you are?
Well, I've touched on this a little bit, but it's not only my years of experience, it's also my breadth of experience. That is, I tend to consider myself a very good first point of contact when somebody has a problem, a dispute, a legal dispute that needs to be resolved. It's not that I'm a general practitioner, but I have touched upon many areas of the law throughout my career, and I'm able then to guide them, first of all, as to whether they really have something that can be resolved, and if it's not something that I do, pass them off to the correct attorney in many cases to assist them.
Correct. And share with us an interesting fact about yourself.
Well, I do enjoy giving back, and I have been very involved in the community, mostly in Coral Gables. I'm past president of the Coral Gables Bar Association. I'm past president of the Junior Orange Bowl Association, which is located in Coral Gables, the largest youth-oriented, festival-oriented youth, how do I say that, festival-oriented anyway, for children
youth,
mostly. Yeah. They put on everything from sporting events to literary events. They have a chess challenge. And so it's always very good to give back to the kids. And now I'm acting as general counsel for the Junior Orange Bowl Committee.
Wow, that is a great accomplishment. Congratulations on that. Rex, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you and learn a little bit more about your practice. I'm sure our members will be looking at the website for the information that you're going to be providing on there. Thank you.
It was my extreme pleasure to be here.
Thank you.